The lost signal. Commander Sarah Chen stood at her post aboard Repair Station Helios, Earth's furthest outpost in the Carina sector. Most alien ships avoided human repair stations, preferring their automated synthetic intelligence facilities. Chen understood why. Human methods seemed primitive to species who'd mastered quantum engineering centuries ago. The emergency alert pierced the quiet bridge. Lieutenant Park's hands flew across the holographic display. Commander, picking up a distress signal. It's different, not matching any known configurations. Through the panoramic viewport, a vessel emerged from subspace. Its hull rippled with colors that shouldn't exist in normal spacetime, like oil on water but somehow wrong. The ship's drive core leaked quantum plasma in impossible patterns. "They're hailing us," Park reported. "Audio only." A voice that sounded like crystal wind chimes filled the bridge. "This is Pathfinder Nix of the Meridian Confluence. Our quantum core has destabilized. 3 automated repair facilities have failed to assist. We require unconventional aid." Chen recognized the species name. The Meridians were among the oldest spacefaring races, masters of technology so advanced it might as well be magic. For them to seek help from humans. "This is Commander Chen of Helios Station. We're reading critical failures in your drive systems. What happened?" "We attempted to map an anomalous region of space. Our drive core evolved in response. Standard repair protocols cannot interface with it. The core has developed properties that defy normal physics." Chen smiled. "Defying normal physics is a human specialty. Request permission to send over an engineering team." A pause. "Your engineers would need to physically interact with our systems. The risk is exactly why we'll succeed where machines failed," interrupted Chief Engineer Maya Patel, stepping onto the bridge. Her prosthetic right arm wavered as she adjusted settings. "Machines follow rules. Humans adapt." The Meridian ship's hull flickered uncertainly. "Your confidence is intriguing." "Permission granted." Maya led her team aboard their shuttle, equipment cases packed with tools that would make most alien engineers cringe. Manual diagnostic sensors, physical repair implements, and devices that relied more on human intuition than computer precision. The Meridian vessel's interior was a maze of crystalline corridors that seemed to reshape themselves as they walked. The drive core chamber was worse, a geometric impossibility that hurt human eyes to look at directly. "Well," Maya whistled, "that's different." The quantum core pulsed with equations that wrote themselves in light, each solution spawning new problems in an endless cascade. "Your core didn't just evolve. It's still evolving. Trying to solve itself into a stable state, but trapped in a feedback loop." She pulled out an old-fashioned multimeter, modified to handle quantum states. The Meridian engineer's crystalline forms vibrated with what might have been alarm. "You cannot possibly gather meaningful data with such primitive." "Sheh." Maya held up a hand, eyes closed in concentration. "Listen to it. Your core isn't malfunctioning. It's singing." But the song stuck repeating itself. For the next 6 hours, Maya and her team did what humans did best. They improvised. When standard tools failed, they built new ones. When conventional solutions proved useless, they tried unconventional ones. They worked with the core's evolution instead of fighting it, guiding it toward stability through careful calibration and intuitive adjustments no machine could calculate. Finally, the quantum cascade settled into a harmonic pattern. The core hummed with new power, different from its original configuration, but stable, better, even. "Remarkable," Pathfinder Nix observed. "You solved an impossible problem by refusing to acknowledge it was impossible. This will require significant revision of our assessment of human engineering capabilities." "We get that a lot." Maya grinned, packing up her tools. Sometimes the best way forward isn't the most advanced one. As the Meridian ship prepared to depart, Nix transmitted one final message. "We will inform others of what we witnessed here. Perhaps there is wisdom in maintaining connection to one's roots, even as we reach for the stars. Commander Chen watched the ship vanish into subspace, its wake now a perfect quantum signature. "Well," she said to no one in particular, "I believe our quiet days are over." She was right. By the end of the month, Helios Station's repair crew included vessels from 12 different species, all seeking the human touch that could solve the impossible. The age of automated repair facilities was ending. The age of human ingenuity was just beginning. Hands that build bridges. 3 months after the Meridian incident, Helios Station had transformed from a quiet outpost to the busiest repair facility in the sector. Engineer Maya Patel found herself training a new generation of human technicians, teaching them to trust their instincts as much as their instruments. Today's challenge: a hive ship of the Scythal Collective, its neural crystal matrix corrupted by exposure to an unknown energy field. The vessel itself was alive, a fusion of organic technology and crystalline consciousness that defied conventional repair methods. "The ship is in pain," reported Dr. Amira Hassan, the station's xenobiologist. Her neural interface flickered as she processed readings from the massive entity. Its thoughts are fragmented, scattered across multiple dimensional planes. The Scythal representatives, floating clouds of bioluminescent particles, pulsed with distress. "Our most advanced diagnostic systems cannot interface with the damaged sections. The neural pathways have become quantum entangled in ways we cannot predict." Maya studied the living ship's structure through the repair bay window. Where most vessels had defined systems and components, this one flowed like liquid crystal, its functions integrated so completely that separating them was impossible. No wonder machine repairs had failed. You couldn't fix this with algorithms. "We need to think like the ship," Maya announced. "Dr. Hassan, can you establish a broader neural link? Not just to read it, but to feel what it feels." The xenobiologist's eyes widened. "That's incredibly dangerous. The ship's consciousness is chaotic. Linking directly could overwhelm human neural patterns. Then we'll do it the old way." Maya pulled out her modified toolkit. "Sometimes you need to use all your senses." Over the next 12 hours, Maya's team worked in shifts, using a combination of traditional diagnostic tools and neural resonance scanners. They mapped the ship's quantum thought patterns by hand, creating a 3-dimensional model of its consciousness using holographic clay, a technique that would have seemed absurd to most advanced species. But it worked. By physically shaping the model, they could see patterns that pure data missed. The corruption wasn't random. It was an attempted adaptation gone wrong, the ship trying to evolve past its original design, but lacking the framework to stabilize the changes. "It's like teaching someone to dance," Maya explained the bewildered Scythal. "You can't just download the steps. You have to feel the rhythm." Using their model as a guide, they began the delicate process of reintegrating the ship's fractured consciousness. Human hands adjusted crystal resonators, while neural interfaces provided feedback. When standard tools proved inadequate, they improvised, converting old music synthesizers into quantum harmonizers, using them to tune the ship's neural frequencies. The procedure took 3 days. By the end, the hive ship's consciousness had stabilized into a new configuration, different from its original state but more robust, capable of adapting without losing cohesion. "You have not merely repaired our vessel," the Scythal observed, their particle clouds forming complex patterns of amazement. "You have helped it grow, evolved our understanding of our own technology." As word of this success spread, more living ships began appearing at Helios. Each presented unique challenges that demanded human creativity and intuition. Maya found herself teaching not just repair techniques, but a whole philosophy of engineering, one that valued understanding over automation, adaptation over rigid protocols. "The universe isn't binary," she told her students. "Sometimes the best solutions come from listening to the poetry in the machine." The age of automated repair was ending. The age of human innovation had begun. But greater challenges lay ahead, ones that would test the limits of human ingenuity and prove that sometimes the oldest methods were still the best. The living metal plague. The crisis began with a whisper. A synthoid research vessel arrived at Helios Station, its crystalline hull clouded by spreading patches of dull gray. Within days, 3 more ships appeared, all showing similar symptoms. Their living metal was dying. Commander Chen called an emergency meeting. Maya Patel and Dr. Hassan stood before a holographic display showing the infection's spread pattern. Representatives from affected species attended virtually, their forms flickering with distress. The corruption begins at a quantum level, a synthoid researcher explained, its voice crackling with static. Our ship's neural networks are breaking down. Automated repair facilities can't even detect the problem, let alone solve it. Dr. Hassan manipulated a 3D model of the infected metal. It's behaving like a biological virus, but one that operates on quantum principles. The corruption isn't just spreading, it's learning, evolving. That's why the automated systems fail, Maya realized. They can't predict what the infection will do next because it changes its own rules. But we've seen something like this before. She pulled up historical records from Earth's archives. The Great Rust of 2157. A nanotech experiment gone wrong that nearly destroyed our early space program. We stopped it by thinking like the infection, not like machines. Over the next week, Helios became a crucible of human innovation. Maya's engineers worked alongside Dr. Hassan's xenobiologists, combining biological insights with mechanical expertise. They studied the infection's patterns using tools that would have seemed primitive to most advanced species, modified microscopes, hand-calibrated quantum sensors, and diagnostic equipment that relied on human intuition as much as technology. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Look at this, Dr. Hassan pointed to a cellular structure. The infection isn't destroying the living metal, it's trying to communicate with it. But the message is garbled, creating a feedback loop that corrupts the original programming. Maya understood immediately. It's not a virus. It's a misguided update. Someone tried to improve the living metal's base code, but it's incompatible with existing systems. The solution required a delicate balance of technology and intuition. Using modified neural interfaces, human operators established direct connections with infected ships. They didn't fight the corruption. They guided it, helping the living metal adapt to the new programming while maintaining its core integrity. Ship by ship, the infection was converted from a destructive force into an evolutionary catalyst. The treated vessels emerged stronger, their living metal now resistant to similar corruptions. More importantly, they'd retained the ability to adapt without losing their essential nature. You understand what you have accomplished? The synthoid researcher asked, its form now clear and stable. You have not merely cured our ships. You have advanced our entire approach to living metal technology. Maya watched as the treated ships departed, their hulls gleaming with new possibilities. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to stop seeing it as a problem. Every crisis is an opportunity for growth. The living metal plague had tested the limits of human ingenuity. But greater challenges lay ahead, ones that would require humanity to push beyond the boundaries of known physics and prove that sometimes the most primitive methods were the most profound. The quantum storm. A massive quantum anomaly appeared at the edge of human space, disrupting subspace travel across 3 sectors. Ships caught in its influence reported reality distortions and physics failures. As the anomaly grew, dozens of vessels from various species sought refuge at Helios Station. Maya Patel stood before the station's main viewport, watching the quantum storm's bizarre effects. Space itself seemed to fold and unfold, creating patterns that shouldn't exist in normal reality. Conventional sensors couldn't even detect it properly. The readings kept changing as if the storm was rewriting its own rules. It's consuming standard spacetime, Dr. Hassan reported, her neural interface struggling to process the data. Ships caught in it are experiencing temporal displacement. Their quantum cores are destabilizing. Commander Chen organized an emergency response team. While other stations evacuated, Helios became a sanctuary for stranded vessels. Maya and her engineers worked around the clock, stabilizing damaged ships using techniques that most species considered obsolete. The breakthrough came when they stopped trying to understand the storm and started trying to feel it. Using modified gravimetric sensors combined with old-fashioned seismic equipment, they discovered the anomaly had a rhythm, like a heartbeat, but in 4 dimensions. It's not random chaos, Maya realized. It's a pattern we can't see because we're looking from the wrong angle. They constructed a primitive but effective solution, a network of quantum resonators built from modified chip parts and calibrated by hand. Each device acted like a tuning fork, helping to stabilize local spacetime by matching the storm's frequencies. The hardest part was synchronizing the network. AI systems couldn't handle the constant variations, so human operators had to adjust each resonator manually, feeling for the right frequency like musicians tuning instruments by ear. As the resonator network expanded, it created safe corridors through the quantum storm. Ships could travel again, guided by human intuition rather than automated navigation. The anomaly itself began to stabilize, its chaotic energies gradually harmonizing with normal spacetime. "You have turned a catastrophe into an opportunity," observed a Meridian elder watching the operation. "Where our most advanced systems saw only chaos, you found music." Maya watched as the last stranded ship safely departed through their quantum corridors. The storm hadn't been defeated. It had been understood, tamed, and ultimately integrated into the fabric of space itself. The lesson was clear. In a universe of endless possibility, sometimes the simplest solutions were the most profound. Human ingenuity had once again proven that understanding couldn't always be automated. Some problems required a personal touch. Legacy of the Toolmakers. The Galactic Council's Grand Chamber, normally reserved for matters of interstellar law, hosted an unprecedented gathering. Representatives from over 1,000 species had assembled to discuss humanity's impact on interstellar engineering. Commander Chen and Maya Patel stood before the assembly, surrounded by holographic displays showing their achievements. The cured living metal ships, the tamed quantum storm, and hundreds of impossible repairs that had revolutionized space travel. "We have made a grave error," announced the council elder, a being of pure energy. "In our rush toward automation, we forgot that understanding cannot always be programmed. The humans have shown us that some problems require insight that no machine can replicate." The council's declaration was historic. All advanced species would establish hybrid repair facilities, combining automated systems with human engineering principles. Earth would become the galaxy's premier training center for a new generation of engineers, ones who could balance technology with intuition. Maya toured the New Earth Engineering Academy, where aliens and humans worked side by side. In one chamber, a crystalline being taught quantum harmonics while a human instructor demonstrated the importance of tactile feedback. In another, students learned to listen to malfunctioning engines using both advanced sensors and simple diagnostic tools. "We're not just teaching repair techniques," Maya explained to a group of alien observers. "We're teaching a philosophy. Technology should enhance understanding, not replace it. The most advanced computer can't match the problem-solving ability of a creative mind." The old saying proved true. Humanity had reached the stars carrying tools, and those tools had changed the galaxy. Not through superior technology, but through the simple, profound understanding that progress didn't always mean abandoning the past. Commander Chen stood at Helios Station's viewport one last time before her promotion to Academy Director. A fleet of ships passed by, some crystalline, some biological, some defying description. Each had been touched by human hands, improved by human insight. "We thought we were behind," she mused, "but sometimes you have to go backward to move forward." The galaxy just needed a reminder that the most powerful tool ever created is still the human mind. The age of pure automation was over. The age of human innovation had transformed into something greater, a perfect fusion of technology and intuition, spreading across the stars one repair at a time.